that hasn't had a lot of hype going forward is academy teams. You know, people, quite frankly, don't really care. We don't know a whole lot about the Academy League. It sounds like it's going to be broadcast. Only some of the games are going to be broadcast on like Fridays. They're going to have a similar format as regular LCS, but I don't know if there's a limit on how many imports you can have on your Academy team. There's these rumors about, I think in an AMA, some of the NALCS teams said there's a limit on how many veterans you can have on a roster, but what is a veteran? What quantifies being a veteran? If you've played in the LCS, are you a veteran? Played one game? You got to play 30 games? I don't know. There's a lot of question marks going on. But TSM and Cloud9 have now revealed their Academy rosters, and we'll start off taking a look at TSM's after their big announcements with Mike Young and everyone. You got guys like Mr. Rawless, who's been on the team for a while now. We kind of expected him to go in there. And Blaze Olive, the other key guy to look at on this squad, the guy they signed from the scouting grounds, I believe 7th overall. So it looks like they've actually gone ahead and signed him to their Academy team.
Yeah, and then to round out the roster, they have Brandini and Grigg, who are part of that Echo Fox team, whether it was the starting roster or getting subbed in and out. They both have some LCS experience, as does Shady, who spent some time with Phoenix One briefly. He was in that mismatch of supports that just kept rotating in and out with Arrow. So all these guys, except for Blaze Olive now with LCS experience, should be a pretty good-looking Academy team, obviously. I mean, and Blaze Olive is someone who's been racking it up in solo queue. But Cloud9's team, whew, they look pretty good. And no, there's a lot of guys here who have been, frowned upon based on their LCS play. But Golden Glue and Keith still have all kinds of experience, and they still have that upside. Potential LCSers in the past, but now clear Academy favorites.
Yeah, I mean, you have guys who have a lot of experience, like Golden Glue and Keith, and then basically 3 young guys who have had, I mean, Wiggly and Zazal have had some serious hype coming from the challenger scene, and League is a guy that Cloud9 traded up for in that scouting grounds to take 1st overall, so clearly they're pretty high on him. And yeah, right now, I mean, we've only seen like 40% of the Academy teams, but that looks like a serious contending team there. And again, if you're looking at, you can only have a certain amount of veterans, that TSM team looks like they have 4 veterans. And
yeah, what's the definition?
They got to set what these rules are. But, I mean, they must have told the LCS teams. Otherwise, they wouldn't know how to house these teams.
Right.
But 2 different-looking rosters, but they both look pretty solid.
And Cloud9 announced it in spectacular fashion with the sitcom throwback where, you know, it introduced each character and doing some weird pose or whatnot. Yep. It was a fantastic video. But, yeah, look, for the overall rosters, TSM, I mean, obviously Mr. Rawless is a veteran for one of those spots. And I don't know, again, how they're defining the term veteran in this case. Is it like a full split? How many games is it required to be an actual LCS veteran? Because Brandini and Grigg both spent significant time with Echo Fox last year. And TSM's looks like a team that's more trying to compete in the Academy team. I don't even know what the big goal is with Academy. Do you just play every week? Is there playoffs? Is there a trophy that you win at the end of this thing? I don't know, but it looks like they're trying to win because that Academy team is pretty good too. But at the very least, they'll have people that they can put into the main roster if anything would to happen to someone on the main team.
Yeah, and yet another question mark is looking at that Cloud9 team. I mean, they had a guy like Selfie, who was a pretty solid guy, maybe even potential to be an LCS starter. Not on that Academy team, so they've either agreed to a buyout of some kind with him or he's staying on that roster as a sub, which poses the question, is a sub different than being on an Academy team? We don't know. Can you have 2 subs? How many subs can you have on a team? And there's just so many questions that Riot hasn't really answered yet, and they're kind of running out of time. I don't know where Selfie's going.
I don't know either. Maybe back to Europe. Maybe he's not moving. Maybe he's still on Cloud9. But we do know that Cloud9 at one point signed him, but he was missing from that big announcement, whether it's LCS or Academy. You would think even if he was a sub, they would have announced him in that video.
You'd think so.
Him along with Ray looks like they're on the way out. Ray we already expected, but Selfie seemed like it was a done deal after he was announced in the same press release as Licorice and Wiggly. So no idea what's happening there. Yeah,
and Selfie was a guy that for sure is a shoo-in to at least start on an Academy team. Maybe Riot said, oh, wow, you can't have a veteran. Like, yeah. What? Veteran? Veteran and import? So maybe Cloud9 wasn't aware of these rules that Riot was bringing in. But either way, I'm sure we'll find out where Selfie's going.
That would make sense, actually, because Keith and Golden Glue, you have to say, are veterans.
Yep.
And then if Selfie also qualifies, because he did spend, I guess, some or a lot of time on an LCS stage way back when, then that would exceed the rule. So whatever the veteran rule is, maybe that's what happened to Selfie. Who knows?
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more esports content.